Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is July 30th, 2019. We're going to write a little bit of code today. I'm not wearing a hat. No. What do you think? I got my hair colored. I got my hair bluified. What do you think, huh? What do you think, chat room? It's not screaming electric blue, but it's blue, and where my hair was dark, it's now darker, and it's highlighted, and it's more blue, more blue, where it would have been an older color, let's just say, right? Huh? What do you think? Blue is awesome, says Dee Dee. Good to see you. Let me say hello to the chat room. Hey, Sean, good to see you. And Dee Dee, of course, hello. HB Listown, hello there. Hello. Stelzy, musical bookworm. Martin, at least the gray is gone. That's what I said to my wife, and she's like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm okay. You know what? You're clearly not getting it here. I think it looks cool. This keeps me... Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hold on, let me find the appropriate... Hang on, let me find the appropriate... Excuse me, musical cue for our friend...
You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
It's Mike Eaton. Hey, Mike Eaton. Yeah. This keeps me on the list, huh? Well, thank you. Is it the new blue badge? No, it is not the new blue badge. Yes. It's. I think it looks pretty good. I think it came out nicely. It looks a lot better in sunlight. Ancient Coder with the hype. Thank you. It doesn't look blue enough. You were expecting a blue rinse. Nah. I think we're okay. We're okay here with this, right? Because it's not dramatic, shockingly loud blue, you know? Now, I didn't want to bleach it first. No. I didn't want to go blue all the way through. I wanted it to just be a little bit of blue. Enough blue that it's like, hey, look at this. So, it's a bit odd not to see me in a hat, says Frackberg. Yeah, you know what? I purposely wanted to show this off a little tonight. Do something different. Shake things up a little bit. So, yeah, my mother said it makes me look a little bit younger. So that's a good thing. Hey, Code Stencil, hello, welcome. Great to see you. The beard should have been blue as well, says Ancient Coder. No, the blue's going to be the blue. Oh my gosh, the blue. No, wrong words. Words are hard. The beard is going to be either rainbow or purple or some other fun color. Greetings from Canada, says Code Stencil. Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Frank says it looks good. And Frank's in Canada also, aren't you, Frank? There we go. See, words are hard. Thank you, Frank. Good. Almost tomorrow from the UK. Hey, Simon. Simon and I have some stuff to show you that we've been working on here. Some really good stuff that we've been working on the project here. HB Listown says I look younger without the hat. I love. Let me. I like wearing my hats. All right. Jacket is missing. No jacket. How's it going, Sushinator? Good to see you. Now, how many pictures of me here without the hat have appeared on Twitter so far? None. Okay, good. Let's keep it that way. Oh my goodness. So, let's see. When last we spoke, we were working on our Blazor project, and we were doing some, my intro video on YouTube is without. You're right. I've got some videos I want to edit together and replace that with, since we've come a long way. That was before I really got into Twitch at that point. So we definitely have some updated content we can put on that YouTube intro video. When last we spoke, previously on Fritz and Friends, we were working on our Blazor project. We were building and working towards getting everything running client-side. We made a bunch of changes, including introducing HTTP clients, so that we make requests from our WebAssembly project that runs in the browser natively using WebAssembly back to the server to go fetch data and do other operations that require server interactions. So that's about where we left off. Hey, Copper Beardy with the Imperial wave. Hello, hello. Always great to see Imperial's emotes floating around here. But we need to get back in, and we need to hook up things like security. I started working on the security story, and I put together a little spike branch so I could work on that and still be able to merge in some changes from some of our other friends, including Sean and Simon here, who have a couple changes to help us with a little bit of the maintenance and to fix the header that we were working on here on in our Blazor project. So I want to take a look at those two pull requests, show you the enhancements I started on with security, and see if we can finish that out real quick to enable the authentication and authorization we had already built that was running server side, but now transport it and make it available client side inside of our application. All right, what do you think there, chat room? We need to get some music playing here. Can you guess which color music I'm going to play today from our friend Music to Code By? You'll never guess which color I'm going to choose. Never in a million years are you going to choose the color that, are you going to name it cyan, azure, green? Shut up. Oh my gosh. Right?
Shut up!
I know. Ancient Coder has it right. Of course. Actually, Frank, I did have some people say that looks a little azure blue. So I don't know why this camera is autofocusing. You shouldn't be autofocusing their camera. Nobody gave you permission to autofocus. Turn that off. There will be no autofocus here. How dare you autofocus camera. There we go. And we'll switch over to the other camera and we'll get through this a little bit. So let's get blue playing here. This is, of course, Music to Code By from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's been scientifically engineered. It's been designed to get you in the groove, get you in the flow, so that you stay focused on whatever task it is that you might be working on. And flow is that really great state where you kind of forget the things that are going on around you, and you almost get hypnotized into just getting things done. I listen to Music to Code By all the time when I want to be productive. I want to get stuff done, whether it's writing code, doing other emails and other work, or doing housework, yard work, that type of thing. It is not focused. What happened there? We lost the focus. Darn it. But I hope you check it out. Music to Code By. You can get it at mtcb.pwop.com. Fire the music command there in chat. There it is. Ancient Coder already executed it for me. And you can get your copy from the PWOP store. All right. Did GitHub cut my hair, says Tommy K 9991. No. I had it done myself by my stylist. All right, let's head over. Let's take a look at our code. Let's get back into the project. It's right over here, over there. So, we had a couple of issues that we left off with the project where things weren't compiling, things weren't working properly. Echo Math asks, how do you trigger sound effects from the bot? Run the help command. You'll see a list of all the commands that you can run. Git reset hair color. Oh, smab.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
No, we're not going to do that. Oh, my goodness. Let's put this over here. Let's get the music set up. There you go. So if you run the help command, you'll get a list of all the commands that you can execute on the bot. From OBS, I use a Stream Deck. I'm not actually executing it from the bot. I have all the things wired up here on my Stream Deck, and I've got 3 of them here, but here's just one of them. It's on this. There you go. So you can see some of the sound effects that I play there. Welcome. Is that Dog Tord? Thanks so much for joining us. Here's all my thinking people that you can see there. Right? So there's the dude, and there's McFly, and yes, even Inconceivable, and all kinds of things from what's it called? Anchorman. Anchorman's a solid place to get sound effect clips. Really great stuff there. You don't need the numbers at the end, Andre. You can just say, and then. Frackberg says, I need to get the 32 button deck. Actually, so I was thinking about this. And I had a conversation with our friend Robert Tables and Chef Brent on Chef Brent's channel. The problem with the 32 button... Yeah, there you go. The problem with the 32 button deck is I have so many different contexts that I route around. I might use the 32-button deck for just one set of sound effects, but I definitely want a whole nother place that's just locked on all my OBS settings, so that as I change scenes and things, it's just that one set of buttons, so it's just my video switcher.
And then?
I'll have the other one set up for just sound effects. Go ahead, give me another end then.
And then?
I'll help you with that. And I'll have a third one. The third one I have here set up with my status, so it has things like my clock on it, my CPU on it, so that I can see all those other things that are going on there. So I thought about the 32-button deck, but I've already got, sitting here, I've got 36 buttons, so a 32-button deck. And I still have another one over here that I haven't even opened yet. So there aren't 3 and thens. There's 6 and thens. Oh, yeah. 6 of them. Look at that. You see all those Chinese food things on the lower left? Yeah, those are all 6 and thens. And they get all mixed up in there. You can fire all 6 of them before the timeout hits from the chat room. Isn't it getting to the point where a touchscreen with a few hundred icons will be needed? Says Simon. No. That's overkill. Is there integration in OBS that lets my bot trigger sound effects when someone does a command? Nope. Ecomath, we actually built that here on stream. That's in a project called Stream Tools that you can find on my GitHub. So execute the GitHub command. You'll see where you can go to find my GitHub and all the great projects we've been working on stream right there. So they were and then two, and so on. You don't need them. Do just and then, and it'll randomly choose one to play. That's pretty cool. There's another one that I set up to do the random selection, and it wasn't working. I need to fix that. There you go. There's the GitHub. So, and there's a cooldown there so that it doesn't fire the same command several times. Does the chat bot, is it also in the Stream Tools? Yes, it is. Yep. So I'm working on another chat bot for .NET Conf. I can't tell you what it's going to do yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. We're setting up a chat bot for .NET Conf. We're proof of concepting it. Proof of concepting, is that a word? Sure. This week. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. One unopened. Are you really wanting to state that you have too many stream decks? Is there such a thing possible? No. I just haven't opened it because I was going to give it away. I was looking for the right event to give it away at, and I haven't found it yet. So I gave away 3 or 4 stream decks here on channel while we were building the Stream Deck toolkit. So it's going to randomly dye my hair. No. Add quote proof of concepting. See, I need a quote database thing. Yeah, that would be cool too. No, not yet. Let's get into the code. We've been wandering around here plenty. I think you have this command.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Ordinary Boy 98. Welcome. I appreciate the follow. And that's going to help us with our goals down here. If we get to 8,000 followers before September 15th, I'm going to dye this beard rainbow. Not just the hair, the beard. The hair will stay blue, but the beard will go rainbow for .NET Conf and TwitchCon. Thanks so much for the follow. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets. Sign up for Twitch, and follow along, because we're having fun here.
Wait, Master.
What?
It might be dangerous.
It's not dangerous. Sean did a good thing here. It passed all the checks. We're good here. We can take a look. So what Sean has for us here is we had a problem with the header bar in the web client. So if you look at issue 51 here, it just looked bad. The header bar in the web client wasn't formatted properly. It looked really bad. Sean did some investigating around this and reformatted our CSS so that it would look better. I like the bootstrap approach for our first minimum viable product, and I think using that layout for an initial presentation of this application. And I'll talk about the application in a minute here after we apply these. I think this is a nice format to start. We'll change the name here from the very namespace, very assembly name oriented, but we'll move that along, I think. But Sean's got a fix for it, and we also discussed there were 3 solutions we could go to here instead of using Bootstrap, which required jQuery, and we don't want to use jQuery in a Blazor application. And Blazor is C#, it's .NET running in the browser. So we want to avoid using jQuery and, of course, JavaScript. So there were a couple different ways here. Rewrite so we can use jQuery through JavaScript interop. Add the Blazor Sharp project. So I'm really happy Sean suggested this one because I think this actually makes the most sense. Let me show you the last one here. Was change the nav bar to work similarly to Blazing Pizza. We might end up doing a little bit of both of these. But just to get us out the door here, Blazor Strap is a flavor of Bootstrap that works with the Blazor framework. So we get both CSS, great formatting, and C# running with WebAssembly in the browser. So, thank you for the recommendation. I said, well, let's use Blazor Strap. That feels like the right way to go here. In the chat room, Ordinary Boy says, I will bring 100 followers for you. Fantastic. I would absolutely, if you did that. Bring it, Ordinary Boy. I would love to see that. And I'll make sure that we write it down in our...
One rolls downstairs, a motor and pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack, it fits on your back, it's log.
We'll write it down in the log. Let us know. So I think Sean went through and did a nice job. Where's my... Right? Putting together a fix for this right here. There we go. 5 files changed. So going to change the CS project here so we include Blazor Strap now. That's fine. That's a NuGet package I'm okay with adding. What was commented out here, well, we're commenting out removing the reference to Blazor.net in the about. That's fine. We got to get rid of this and build our appropriate navigation. Nav menu, so here's our navigation, and using now the Bootstrap, Blazor Strap components here. Cool. Love seeing that. And we're eventually going to have the login bits in here. So that's where we're going to pick up today, is putting that in place. A little bit of code down here at the bottom in order to make it appear, show and hide. That's fine. And trigger the state has changed appropriately. So Blazor Strap, there it is being referenced. Fix our CSS so it behaves appropriately. And it all compiled and ran properly. And this is going into our feature schedule user interface branch. So Sean's been a great contributor here, so I am going to merge that and put a big thank you so much for the help. I am nothing but all thumbs with user interface, so big hand for Sean helping us out there. Thank you so much. And all of our GitHub contributions go up there, up on the top. You see, right? It's going to update slowly here as we get these contributions in, and we can recognize and thank those folks. They'll appear up on that contribution list. I should at some point merge these all the way up to master, and it'll update all those numbers, I think, appropriately. So that's great. We've got that now into this feature branch. And this feature branch is going on way too long. We need to do something about this. Big hype for Wheelchair Sean. Yeah, I need to... If anybody has suggestions for how to update that hype command so that when we do say hype for somebody, we drop their name in it, we format it a little bit, feel free to submit a pull request to the live stream repository, and we can put that in. And actually, we got a pull request from our friend John Calloway to put a tacos command in as well. We can definitely make that happen. This is the other pull request that I wanted to talk about that I think Simon did a real nice job tracking down and justifying. because this isn't a simple change here. You see, Simon modified 14 files here. But what this does is it's taking all of our Blazor code and turning it into using view models. Now, what's important about this is when we look at our Blazor code, you can write it the same way that we used to write JavaScript with our HTML, where we had our JavaScript in line with our HTML, all on the same page.
Far Ewings just resubscribed for 10 months. Boop.
Boop indeed. Thank you so much, Fairy Wings. Far Ewings, it's a little known fact, was the cousin that you didn't see in the TV show Dallas. Far Ewings is actually from the West Coast. They were far from the other Ewings. You didn't really see them typically on South Fork Ranch. Thanks so much, Fairy Wings, for the sub, and we'll make a donation to Coder Dojo, like we do for all of our subs, all of our cheers this quarter. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. It just dots. That's all I get. That's all we see in the chat room from Far Ewings. The other Ewing family members, don't mess with JR, when Far Ewings is in town, right? I need the good, the bad, and the ugly. That whistle. I need that sound effect. I need that, the good, the bad, right? You know what I'm talking about. And the ugly whistle sound effect. Yeah. There are words I'm calling you that are against your Disney. Is it from because of the blue hair? Is it the blue? No. Far Ewings. It wasn't me. I'm just quoting the bot. Oh, we love Fairy Wings. She's tremendous. You got to check out her stream. Thanks so much for the shout out there, Ancient Coder. All right. So this is a big change that Simon went through and verified and made sure worked for us. It's got a X. Does it have an X on this pull request? Okay. Yeah. Now we can resolve the conflict, and it'll force the rebuild here. So let me come back to this come back to that in a second. Look at the emotes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fairy, for the. Oh, look at it. It's the bot and Fairy's heart. Oh, that's so nice. So what this does is just like it's a good practice with our JavaScript when we're writing web pages to pull all that script out and put it into JS files. Same thing here. You can pull out all of your C# code, and instead of having it natively right there next to your markup in a Razor file, you can put it next to it in a C# class so that it gets compiled and you can run tests against it, separate from having it all intermingled like spaghetti code with our component markup. So this is tremendous that he's gone through and done this. He added some task comments to areas of note where there are options for further improvement or refactoring. That's fine. I love seeing that because that gives us the opportunity to go forward. We may want to turn these into issues that we can schedule in a project at some point, but I very much appreciate the follow-up here. Overrides to Blazor protected component base members. So that view model that sits behind our components, it inherits from a class called component base, and this is what defines how that class behaves, how that object behaves. You don't see that when you intermingle your code. It does that behind the scenes for you. When we separate it like this, you need to manage this. So what's being suggested here is let's move some of the code into a place that's reusable so that everybody always gets the same behavior. And component parameter properties, we may be preferable to review the usage of parameter properties to be able to work with those. That's not bad either. That's not bad. But you can see Simon went through a lot of work here. A lot of work to make this happen. So it looked really good, and we had an issue with our build process. Let me show you. Of course, we have Azure DevOps running on here now. Azure DevOps, right, is that service that does continuous integration for us out in the cloud. Every time there's a pull request, every time there's a change to the source code that's committed to GitHub, it runs a build and then executes all of our tests. Well, our builds weren't working properly out here because we did that update from Preview 5 to Preview 7. So the versions didn't match, so it broke because we're referring to things that didn't exist anymore. Because we're in preview versions here. Things change, things break. So, have to manage that. So I fixed it, so we're now using Preview 7, but I still had that one unit test out there that forced it to always break. I did rerun it, and it looks like that things ran properly, but now I've got, because we merged in Sean's change, we've got two things that are modifying the navigation menu at the same time here. So we need to resolve that conflict between the two so we can get everybody using the same thing here. So let's take a quick look here and see if we can update this. So the incoming change is using the navigation view model here, where Sean has us now using the Blazor strap components here. So where we were referencing some of these properties directly, we now need to move them so they're inside the model, this model that's being managed. This is a little bit more complicated than I want to resolve here in the browser. Just a little bit more complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring... No, stay on this page. No, stay on this page. Okay. You were after some architecture guidance as to my preference for keeping the minimal code blocks versus introduction of some additional concepts of code behind. Rats, I didn't want to go over there. I can go in either direction with this. So, where is it? It's not going to let me do the download here and work on this. It's going to make me come over here to this page. I thought there was a thing that let you do this natively, locally. I don't want to do this in the browser. I want to bring this down and run it locally so I can test. That kind of thing. Bummer. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... the incoming change I'm going to accept here because the change that was passed in is to remove these things. Or that was already there, commented out all of this except for the is open and the on click. See, we're going to need both. I'm half tempted to say accept both in a lot of these places. Right, so this block where the login was... Ooh, this is going to be difficult. Parathon!
Parathon just resubscribed for 15 months.
15 months! Whoa! Thank you so much, Parathon. I appreciate that very, very much. And we'll make another donation to Coder Dojo. Thank you very, very much for that kind sub. 15 months, man. That's tremendous. You should be able to remove the entire block before the code tag. This right here, it looks like, huh? So if I remove that, so I think, all right, I think we can keep that. Let's get rid of that marker. Get rid of that marker as well. I think, so model.toggle nav menu is the on click here instead of this. So I think we can move that here. Yeah. Okay, and we can remove all of that, which means this down here goes away. And I think we can get rid of all this stuff then too. I think. Correct, I'm seeing. All right, mark that as resolved. Commit. Do the thing. Do the thing. Come on. Thank you. Now we should be able to merge. And actually, there we go. It should try and rebuild it here. Nope. All right. We're going to refactor Blazor code into view models. Make it so. I have that. I have that clip.
Make it so.
And it did. Thank you for all the work on this. A big help. All right. Fantastic. There's an @ on the on-click. All right, we'll fix that. Not a problem. Not a problem. So, those are the two big changes, and we'll look more at how those view models were built here in a little bit. Because I'm going to go back over to my project, my fork of the project. I'm going to pull in those changes, and we'll talk about what this project is, and we'll start improving it here. So I'm going to check out the feature branch that I've been working on. There it is. I'm going to pull in the upstream changes. So the upstream, of course, is that main project that we've been pulling out of, that we've been contributing to, that central one that everybody's working on. Now, yeah, I'm okay with that. I thought I squashed and merged, but evidently I didn't. So I will push that so I have a local copy. I have my own copy on GitHub. Let me examine this, and let's take a look at that one comment here around the navigation. What this application does is, this is a scheduling application so that folks can, that's the view models, so that folks can manage the schedules of employees, volunteers at a nonprofit organization, particularly an equine therapy facility called Sebastian Riding Associates. Folks that are disabled, that have some kind of challenge in their life, mental, physical, whatever it might be. They get an opportunity to go learn a little bit about horsemanship and experience some equine therapy. Spending time taking care of horses, riding horses has been shown to help some of these folks get their minds away from those other challenges they might have and experience something else. And it's a tremendous help for all kinds of folks, whether it's kids, it's teenagers, it's adults. Really great opportunity for folks. And we're going to help them out by allowing folks to schedule themselves, manage their schedules here using this application. So I want to get that minimum viable done and in their hands so we can start to get some feedback from them. Frank asks, which template did we start from? Blazor server-side? We started from Blazor server-side. We created the Blazor project, Blazor hosted afterwards, and we started migrating stuff from server-side into this model. I think here we need to change this to model.isOpen. No. See, the isOpen here, look at this. I can't navigate to it. We're going to need to figure this out. That needs a little bit of navigation. If we look at the view model here. Now, the view model. So, oh, you're just injecting. You're not inheriting. All right, we'll work on that. So the view model is being passed in so that we have an object that has all the information, the state of this, so we can interact with it. So collapse nav menu is the state of it. So we need to show that, which means whether or not it's collapsed needs to be visible. So we need to make this now public. And instead of model is open, we can say model, well, we should change that to caps since it's now visible outside of here. It's kind of good format to have your properties, public properties, with a capital letter. If they're private, you put them with a lower letter. Deliberately injection only to not pollute the virtual machine, the view model with Blazor concerns. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So we have that fixed. This should all build properly. I'm going to Control-Shift-B. You can see what keystrokes I'm doing right here. That's Karnak that's running in the background and reporting whenever I use hotkeys, telling you what it is that the hotkey was that I stroked. Yeah. And what it does. So Here we go. Building, little green arrow, little green thing there. And we got a couple of issues here. Oh. Right. That should work now. Now that we have collapse menu is... Right, I changed the name of it and forgot to change the other references to it. So, fix that. Moving along. Update the thing. Here comes the stuff. And build succeeded. Woo! All right. Okay. So, we should be able to take a look at this now. Let's see what happens. And I can start live share. Is anybody interested in me starting live share so you can connect in and see the application? Let's see. Come on, where's my application?
You can do it!
Yeah, come on, Visual Studio, run. Simon says I reserve... Oh, man, listen to me. Simon says, I reserve the right to admit later that injection-only view models provided to not be sufficient, in which case we can go to inheritance, which would be interesting to see if injection only is sufficient. Yeah, I think you're right. Sure. HB Listdown is saying live share me. All right, we can do that. So here it is. It's loading up Blazor client side. There we go. So there's the fix that Sean gave us so that the header looks good. Right? We've just got a home button at this point that comes to this index page and doesn't really do anything. The home doesn't collapse up into this. Actually, it's flip-flopped in that initial state. That's not terrible. That should be easy to fix, right? So when it's open like this, that's fine. When I'm on a smaller, right, it should be collapsed, and it's not. Okay. So several things we need to do at this point so we can get to those other pages. We need to be able to log in. We need to be able to query and navigate to those other pages that have our controls on them, our components, so that we can present and work with the schedule.
And then?
We can start to lock those down. So I think we should add some nav links across the top here that will get us to those other pages for now. And we'll set up that login link over here as well. And I want to show you the work that I was doing to start setting up the login capabilities. A couple comments here in the chat room. Let me say hello to Brave Cobra. Hello, it's good to see you, friend. Welcome. Change the state to default to false.
Brave Cobra 2 just resubscribed for 9 months. The whole chat room should match the hair color.
The whole chat room should match the hair color. So, are you suggesting that folks should change their name color to be blue, just like my hair? Maybe. I would not debate that. I support this. Change the state of the default to false is what Sean is saying. So let's close that. Close this. So here, collapse nav menu, default that to false. And I will start the live share. Doing the thing. Live sharing the stuff. Ready to collaborate. All right, good. Sharing. And boom, make it read only. There you go, friends. There's the link if you want to join the live share. I'll give you a minute or two to click that through if you're running Visual Studio Code. If you're running Visual Studio 2019 or 2017 and you have the live share plugin installed, click that link and you can join in to the live share. Let me continue reading down here. Renegade, is that Renegade VI? Nice. Renegade VI. I'm a big fan of VI. Do you think GitHub will integrate more with Microsoft tools? For example, the Monaco editor, the Visual Studio Code, as a web editor. Let me clarify for folks who might not be familiar with the code name Monaco there. Monaco is the editor, the HTML and JavaScript-based editor that folks use in Visual Studio Code. That was originally written to be a web-based thing that would run over OneDrive. But they took that same HTML and JavaScript that they wrote that ran in the browser, and they put it on top of an Electron-based app. That's a browser-based app. And that became Visual Studio Code. It got a whole bunch of enhancements, and it's really cool there. What Renegade VI is suggesting is, can they bring that back into the web browser and make that the default editor on GitHub? That'd be really cool. I have no insight into the work that GitHub is doing, what their project plans are, but I really, really like that. And following on, GitLab is already using Monaco as their web IDE. Really? Now that is interesting. Okay. All right. Isn't that just Stack Blitz? I'm not familiar with Stack Blitz. Christogram. What's Stack Blitz? Help me out with that. Do you have a link? Continue reading here. Some conversation about the Blazor stuff. Simon says, in my personal prep project, I'm using this technique to share view models with a WPF user interface using a shared .NET Standard DLL. Nice. So what this view model that I have here, in order to use that same user interface in WPF as a Windows application, just take this and put a different shim in front of it, put a different user interface. In that case, it happens to be WPF for Windows applications. Speaking of Windows applications, I'm wondering if we're going to see our friend Fierce Kittens stop by. And there was a troll that's been mocking me in some other folks' streams. I'm wondering if they'll stop by also. I don't think they have the guts to stop by and confront me face to face here. I banned them last night over on Fierce Kittens channel. Let's see what happens. Did they use the Monaco editor in the new Azure DevOps YAML editor because that thing is amazing? I don't know if they did, Simon. I would believe it. Stack Blitz is Visual Studio Code with the ability to save and serve online. Oh, cool. That's not a Microsoft product, I don't think. Let's click through and take a look at what that is. Here we go. Code the future in your browser. Start a new workspace. I don't think this is a Microsoft thing. No. Well, that's great. If they've taken the source code and they've turned it into this, that's really neat. More power to them. And it's all JavaScript. Okay. Hey, if that works for you, great. The whole point of Visual Studio Code is you can program with... Thank you. Horses love JavaScript. You can program any programming language using Visual Studio Code. You just need the right snap-in, the right plugins to make it work great. So that's really cool. Thanks for the tip there, Christogram. So, going back over to our code. So we flip that one setting. I need to also add to the navigation menu, and I need to start building out here. You're not going to read it? Michael Jolly's rating us with 11 viewers, 16 viewers. Well, which one is it there, Stream Elements? Thanks so much, Michael Jolly, for the raid. Great to see you. Welcome, Raiders. It's so good to see you here.
Totes, Mark.
Yeah. Blue hair don't care, says the Michael Jolly. I think the Michael Jolly is a little jealous because he's follically challenged. Christogram, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. And Ciantocraft, thanks so much for the follows as well. I really appreciate that. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. I'm not wearing a hat tonight because I got my hair dyed blue. Look at that. It's a little blue. It's yeah, see that. Make sure you follow the Michael Jolly there. Hey, what were you working on tonight? I know you've been doing some really neat stuff with a Twitch chat bot over on your channel. Particularly, you've been writing some Node and some TypeScript to go with it, if I remember correctly. How's it going over there? Can you update us how it's going? What you completed today? Love the hype. And I do need to get a raid defense video. I've got a lot of work to do here. I've got some edits that I need to put together there. Wild Genie, hello, welcome. Great to see you. Unholy Teague is here, hello. Do I have to use the preview version of Visual Studio to follow along? No, you don't. Nope. If you're connected, and let me repost for our Raider friends there. There you go. We have live share running inside my Visual Studio here. If you'd like to connect in read-only mode and follow along, browse through the project and be able to look at things, and when I run the application, see it run live in your local browser, you'll actually see it before it goes across on the stream, because the stream's actually about 3 to 5 seconds behind. There's the whole packaging, streaming, relaying, and downloading to you thing that happens. There's a little bit of lag there. Fierce Kitten says, such a crazy video animation when people raid. It's awesome, says Frank. Yes, it is. It is quite awesome. Michael Jolly says, we're now generating our stream notes automatically and pushing them to GitHub based on events in the stream, and released a new feature for our VS Code extension. Okay, generating stream notes automatically that's hot. That's pretty freaking cool right there. You've improved the stream. You've made it better. That is awesome. Fairy Wings has agreed. Copperbeardy. Fairy Wings has an amazing raid video as well. So very busy day. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Chris Jones. Take care. So I wanted to put a couple links up here also to go to our other components. I'm trying to copy and paste here. Paste a couple times. Come on. I want to put our availability link. That's not it. So we're working on a project here. We're continuing to work on our resource management application, so that we can show to a nonprofit organization here a tool that will allow them to manage the schedules for folks that are volunteering and working at the facility. So I'm just going to add these two links, and I need to put an Href in here. Where actually do these things live? Well, inside of Blazor, we have to make our components that are going to listen as pages. We need to make them available as pages by adding a page directive here. So I'm going to have this listen on just /availability. And I need to tell it then where that page is inside the navigation menu here. So my href is going to be that. And I'm going to add another href here that's going to go to not the availability, but to the manager schedule view. So we need to move this up one for the inject, and I need to put the page up top there. And let's call this manager schedule. Let's just call this /manager. Let's just start there, right? I don't have anything else to define yet. Let's just put it right there. And I'm going to specify that's the URL that we're going to go to. That might be enough to get started for that. Let me make sure that before I set the application up to run, let me make sure I'm sharing the right port here so that all our friends that are connected on LiveShare are able to connect to that same shared server. Here we go. So I'm going to add a server port here, and it's going to open magically for all of our friends that are connected here on LiveShare. We've got a handful of folks up there. All right. You now followed Fairy Wings, says Frank. Oh man. So Fairy Wings has been doing a lot with a couple different games that she's been playing. Garden Paws. Always, the stuff she builds in Minecraft is tremendous. She's like a Minecraft architect. It's really neat, the stuff she builds. And what's the third game? I'm blanking on the third game. It's not Fortnite. I'll tell you that right now. It's definitely not Fortnite. Let's run the application here and see. We should have these, and we should be able to navigate through to those pages now, so we can see at least the start of the reports. See that Copperbeardy has this emote, which it didn't go across the screen. That's one of Fairy's emotes. So it does this extra step building because it's actually, when it builds the Blazor component, it's linking everything down, so we get a nice small DLL. So here we go. And then, so this should now, look at see all that stuff flying by. These are all our friends that are getting it in their browser. So now if I shrink that up, now we get the thing appearing properly with the menu. Good. Two Wolf, welcome. Good to see you. Now that I know I won't stop streaming, you need to up your game, says Frank. Yeah. Let me see. So availability, this should take me through to the availability. Or not. Why isn't it taking me through to the availability report? Right, and that won't go either. All right, so nothing's navigating there. Let me hit F12 and see what's going on down here in our console. Well, that's a problem. Holy smokes. What did we do? Could not establish connection. Receiving end does not exist. Okay, so that tells me... Yep, that's not going to work just yet. That's a lot of red. I know, Svava. I know. We're going to need to fix that. You think there's an error, says Renegade. Yeah, you think? That's an IPv6 address. Where? Where do you see an IPv6? Yeah, it's not able to connect. Right, look at all this stuff. The WebAssembly's just toast. It can't connect at all here. This bit is, right, Blazor WebAssembly JavaScript. It should be connecting and starting to work with that. All right. So something's not connecting. Something's not setting up and serving properly from the server side. So let's go over here. Oh boy. Use client-side Blazor files. That I thought was all we needed to add. I think we can get rid of this now because I don't have... Razor pages here, so I think I can get rid of that in case that's what's... You know what? Hang on. Let's do this. Let's just comment that out. And I think... Do I still have... I don't have the test server project around anymore. So that I can look and see what's going on there. Simon says, I believe that's what we call in the trade properly borked. Thank you. Yes. It's definitely not working right. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm thinking it's the Razor Pages thing, but there might be something else going on in there. Let's hit F12 and take a look at the debugger. No. Receiving end does not exist. Attempting to use a disconnected port object. Could not... Okay, so something is not making the client-side stuff available. So it doesn't matter what we click around here, right? It's not getting anywhere yet. Okay. So let's close these down. It should be navigating, but it's not. Let's go over here. I don't think... Yeah, those test projects that we had created they're gone. Let me go into the Blazor workshop. That one. I want to see what the server side project looks like here in the startup class, because the startup class is what's defining here's how to launch and how to manage the things coming in from Blazor. So when we configure services, MVC, Newtonsoft JSON, DB context, that's our database. This is already in there, adding authentication. We're not going to use Twitter for this because the folks at the facility we're working with, they don't use Twitter. But the configure, use response compression, static files, routing, blah, blah, blah. Use client-side Blazor files. I have a feeling we're missing a couple of these right in here. I have a feeling. Called call it a sneaking suspicion. Let's see here. Use response compression, got that. Development, use developer exception page, use database error page, use Blazor debugging. I think we're okay on those. Static files, okay. Use routing, okay. Authentication, authorization. App use client-side Blazor files. Well, that's way up here. Maybe I need to move that down here. And then inside my use endpoints, map controllers. Well, I set that up, map default controller route. That should work also. Map fallback to client-side Razor and index HTML. So I think that's right. Let's go back over to the source code. Let's look at index HTML, which is not in here. Okay. Well, index HTML I know is in the client project, and it's not there. Here, index HTML. Let's take a look at this one. Make sure we didn't bork anything in here. Philly.net is now hosting me. Philly.net, thank you so much to the user group out there. Welcome, friends at the user group. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Jeff Fritz. You know I hang out there. I've been hanging out at Philly.net for more than 10 years now. We've been doing some great things together at that user group. That's my local user group, and friends out there, wherever you might be, there's undoubtedly a user group near you. Check them out on Meetup and other fine places where user groups congregate. All right, let's see what we got here. Viewport, yeah, that's fine. Shrink to fit, no. Base href, we're good with that. Link, title. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? You think you're hearing some pops and some hard P's? Yeah, I know I'm popping my P's. But it shouldn't be too bad with the screen here. That's just me being a little, yeah, a little out there. All right, that looks okay. CSSs are fine. If we look at the bottom here, framework, Blazor, WebAssembly, JS, yeah. Content, Blazing Pizza's component library, local storage, yeah, we don't have any of that stuff. So where is it not including? Is there something here in program we're missing? Right? Oh, wait a sec. I forgot we can do this. Come here, you. Ha let's see here. WebAssembly host, create default builder, use Blazor startup. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. But it's saying it's not there in the server. So what are we missing on the server? In the program over here. Is that Zaflu? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate the follow. Let's see. Open this up a little bit. So this is just doing the database initializing and seeding the data. That's not what we need here. Create default. That's fine also. Nothing different in there. All right. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. If we look at the CS proj, this one we're going to have to open. So this is the server one. This has a reference to ASP.NET Core Blazor server. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Am I missing that? Right. Because we're migrating. We're separating these two. If I look in here, oh my gosh, look at all this nonsense. Nope. ASP.NET Core Blazor server is right there. So we're good on that. That's the only thing that's there. And it's interesting, it doesn't even have ASP.NET Core app. All right. So where's it not? Okay. So the project references, domain scheduling, a web client, we're good there. Okay. All right. So that's in the server CS project. Let's check the client. Open that one. So this kind of back and forth, comparing and seeing what's actually in here and making sure that things reference properly. Very common process when you're trying to migrate things. So Blazor, blazor.build. Right, so if I go over to this one, I have Blazor, blazor.build, blazor.dev server. I don't think we want that. That may help us here. That may... Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Come on, Blazor. So you can see it's compiling down here. There's our green line. So, let's see. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're taking so long. You know what I mean?
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
I don't. No idea. Let me hit F12, see if we got that connection. Nope. Okay. Right, so when I click one of these, yeah. Violation, click handler, took too long. Unable to resolve service for type claims principal. Well, that we're going to be able to fix going through here. V3 preview 6 or 7. This is 7. No problem. Tell you what, let's look at... That's a Chrome extension bit there. What is going on in this one, in the availability view model? Then maybe there's something there that we're missing that's breaking. So here's our availability view model. It's got all these objects set up so that we can receive and look at, right, all the information about. When this is created, look at that. So there we're receiving the current user. Well, there is no claims principal anymore. So I can't receive that information to look at the user. So I'm going to remove that, which means I need to remove this, which means current user somewhere else in this file is going to be referenced and not work. Or it's going to be referenced and there's nothing there. Simon suggesting the easy way out might be to create to .NET New a new hosted Blazor app template and just move all the things over. Maybe. Maybe. I'm going to rerun it now that I've commented out that injection that it can't do. It doesn't have access to that thing. Let's see if we can get this to pop. Let's see if we can get this to work properly. But you might be onto something, Simon. That might be the way to go. All right. Come on, build.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yes, I do, Hans. Hans. There we go. I don't trust Hans Gruber. All right, so let's F12. Hey, friends. Rats. We were so close. How about this one? Does that one work? Nope, that one doesn't work either. All right. While we're waiting, what are you waiting for, Frank? How was the reading session? The reading session went terrific. If you didn't see me, I was reading The Invisible Man the other night. I think it was Saturday night. It was late. Didn't really announce it, just kind of jumped right in. And it was a lot of fun. Need to edit that down, need to fix some things. We may even just rerun it here. Hans Gruber, indeed. Pac-Man Jr., good to see you, friend. Pac-Man says, I've been playing with Vue web components, and it had me thinking about Blazor web components. Is that a thing? Easy to do? That's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. We're building web components that we can share, we can repackage into NuGet packages, republish, and folks can consume and use in other projects. And folks like Developer Express, they just released a whole new scheduling component in their latest version of their Blazor components. So, yeah, it was very, very late for folks in Europe when I did that reading. So if I do this and I do Shift-Alt-D, it's going to try and hook up a debugger here in Chrome. I'm not in Chrome. And sure, Chrome is running with debugging enabled. So what I'm going to do is go to this page, copy that, WinR, paste that in, check this out. This is so cool. Wait till you see this. This is so, so cool. Paste that in, launch Chrome. There's Chrome. It's right there. Hit F12. Right, so there's my debugger thing. Look at that. Could not establish connection. Well, that's just wrong. And Shift-Alt-D. And now I'm going to get a debugger. Oh, yeah. That has C# in it. Right? These are my dev tools. Right? So now when I click on availability over here, look at all that junk that happens. But I can see and interact with it. Where is it? Give me the console. Where's the console? Console. Right? But I should be able to step into this and see what's going on here. The tab is inactive. Well, restart it already then. Look at all that mess. Yuck. Right? And I'm not even there. I'm getting... yeah, that's just a mess at this point. So let's take a look back over here. It sure looked like this was rendering properly. If I control F5... I mean, it... oh, no, look at that. Boom. Wow. Schedule state. Web client.data.schedule state. Unable to resolve service. Right, because I'm not injecting that. While attempting to activate the manager schedule view model. Why is it trying to activate that? I'm not on that page. So why is it? DI is only registering the view models themselves, so stealthy. Are those errors related to things that are not registered? It sure looks like it. But schedule state is not. So let's go back here. Do I still have another? Yeah, I have this one open. That's okay. That's the bot. We're good. Okay. Where was I? Schedule state is what the manager... I don't know why it's trying to inject that. It's not trying to load this thing yet. Let's take this out of here for right now. Comment that. Really what I should do is I should inject it. Let's inject it. Right? Let's inject that. So, dependency injection is... oh, look at you. Nice. Add view models, and all the view models are added there. I'm going to add... add scoped, right? And it's going to be... right? Data.schedule state... Cool. So that thing should now be available to all the pages. So here we go. Things are moving fast. Really good community with Blazor. Yes, it is, Frank. You're right. Things are really moving quickly here. Is there an anti-forgery token getting involved in causing issues? No, I don't think. I don't think there's an anti-forgery token happening yet. Let's F12 and see what's here. Receiving end does not exist. Rats. Really? Blam. Once again. Build. All right, so now it's not. Now it's just rendering this thing. JSON exception is invalid at the start of value. Oh. Okay, so now it's trying to get something and it's getting bad data. Bad dates. Couldn't run the app in debug. That's okay. That's okay. So, right, I should be able to, let's just make sure I can go to, on the server side, I should be able to browse to the controller where my data is coming out. Right? Where's that? That's web client. Controllers. Here, schedule controller. So we had a get that returns the ID. That needs an ID to return a schedule. So let's see if we can just go there. API schedule 1. What do I get when I go there? All right, so I get some data. That's good. It's not the right data, but it's data. Okay. So if we look at the network here, it's trying to go to /schedule/0. That, I bet you is, yeah, look at that. Wait a sec. It's going to the wrong URL. Should be going to /API/schedule. /schedule. So let's go back to the components here. So for that availability, if I go to that, here we go. Get the availability. It's going to go to, this needs to go to API/schedule. And API/, right? And we need the same thing over here for the manager data. Let's try that again. See if we get some data. You're answering questions that don't exist. Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh. What JSON came over the network tab? That's just it. It wasn't JSON. It was HTML. Instead of it catching the error, it was returning some ugliness instead of returning data. Now if I F12. Oh my gosh, what is that? Is that Peter Flight? Welcome. So it's pulling down all the DLLs. If I look at the console, so far so good here. Nope. Well, okay. Unhandled exception rendering. Response status code does not indicate success. Where did that go? Where did we get that 404 at? Here. API/schedule/0. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. So let's see if we can force that because we're not logged in yet. Right? So right now in here, myschedule.id, let's mock out where'd it go? Right, my schedule state. So my schedule equals right, so it's going to myschedule.id. So it's getting availability. Well, it's right there. API schedule myschedule state.schedule ID. So let's create a myschedule state. Right, let's force one here. Remove mocked schedule state. Right, let's make schedule ID 1. So it's got something to query. Now we should see this. Because we won't get that 404 error trying to navigate through. We need to handle that 404 error appropriately. But I want to get the page responding, right? For me to wire up and make it pass through the appropriate data is going to take a little bit of work yet. And that's actually where I want to get to, is into that authentication and authorization bit here. But let's see what happens. So F12, let's see my debugger. Thank you for the follow, Ritalin Commando. Little ADHD there. Nice, welcome. All right, so we still got some errors coming through. Unhandled exception rendering component, object reference not set to an instance of an object. Yuck. Now, I wish I could F12 into that, but I'm apparently having a little bit of an issue here. And I'm guessing this one doesn't work either. No. I think you might be right. It might be time to back up and recreate the web client project and just move things into it. See if that works. See if we can get it to reconcile properly. Oh my gosh, Clinton Rocksmith, 1,500 bits. Oh my goodness. Wowie wow. Thank you so much for that very kind cheer. And we will make a donation to Coder Dojo this month. Thank you very, very much for that. And that actually puts you at the top of the leaderboard. And we invite whoever leads at the end of the month. And today's, well, we'll do one more stream tomorrow. But we invite whoever leads at the end of the month to join me for a pair programming stream. I have Michael Jolly, Robert Tables, and Carrie Payette are going to be joining us for streams. I got to make that happen. I'm a little behind on that, but we will be making that happen. Okay. So let me think. How can we do this easiest? Let me go back over here. Let's go back into resource management. Let's go into source. Let's do a .NET new. See if we can build out. Where is it? Blazor ASP.NET Core hosted. This one's what we're going to create. Blazor hosted. .NET new Blazor hosted. I don't care what the project names are that it creates. Just create them. Yeah, there we go. A shared client server. Right? So there they are. Okay. I'm going to add them into the project, into the solution, so we can just move things into them and see what happens. So I'm going to add existing projects. Let's start off adding...
Hey, listen.
Yes, what do we say here? The error is usually because your component will render once before the model is newed up. Needs a null check in the markup. Usually. Really? Let's take a look-see. Is because the component will render once before the model is newed up. Alright, so let's take a look. So my index, over here, there is no model. There's nothing that goes with it. It's literally blank here. If I look at the availability page, right? So this is rendering and these things don't exist yet. I have a model and it's been injected. So right, if I start this just to take a look and see what's in here, right? on the home page, we're still good. Right? We haven't hit any errors yet. But when I click through to one of these pages, wham. So, unhandled exception rendering component, and there's no error message. So, it's rendering the component, and it's trying to reach into things that should have been injected and should exist, but maybe they don't yet. Because, right, model, right, yeah, these things don't exist yet. New schedule item. Zero CNC, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. Appreciate it. There we go, see that? That's going to be null. It should be something, though. Right, reset schedule item is down here. It's not creating this yet. So maybe you're onto something there. Maybe we need a question mark on these. Because they might not be something yet. Yeah. See if that helps. I was wondering about this. I assume DI happens before binding. What do we got here? Yeah. Oh, there's another one right there. Set the availability for it. Well, current user isn't. This is null. Well, as well. Put that in there. I don't think that's all. It's gonna choke here on something else. Yeah. Yeah. No, it still doesn't like. No. Now I think we need to turn that into a. You want me to do the null in the view model? This I'd actually. Oh, gosh, I don't want it to be a claims principle. Right, I want this to be. It's going to be a user info at some point. I don't have user info yet, but I want to get this fixed so it at least runs. But current user isn't a thing yet, so let's do this. I'm going to make this an object for now. No, I'm going to yank that. I'm going to yank this all together. I'm going to make that an object so it's a thing. But for right now, I'm going to comment this. So that is okay. It's still not going to be good with these down here. It's going to choke. Right? Yeah. No, that's not a... Fine. You can actually wrap a try catch around it as well. Would you like to continue and run? No. It's these ones here. It doesn't like the question marks now. Right? If I start new schedule item equals a new schedule item. So there's always a schedule item there, even though it's empty. Still don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to run into an issue there. Nope. Can I provide a value for property schedule on type recurrence data entry because the property has no setter? Yeah. I think this is internal to us, friends. Let's do this. Let's back up here. Let's remove this for right now. Just see if we can get it running. Must admit, it all feels backwards to have done so much Angular where the component is the boss. Manages the reference to the markup compared to Blazor where the markup is in charge. Well, we're trying to turn that around a little bit here so that the markup isn't in charge as much, right? I'm waiting to see if Fierce Kittens drops by because I know she's going to give me nothing but crap. She's going to give me problems. There we go. So yeah, I'm already broken. Could not establish a connection. Receiving end does not exist. That bothers me right there. Can I provide a value for my schedule state on page's day view because the property has no setter? Yeah. Day view. View models. Day view model. My schedule needed a setter. Yeah, I think we're missing this. I think we're broken a little bit here. Let's see. Yeah, ship it? No. No. We're in a pretty broken state right now. Okay, the availability view model is pretty complex, and the availability page, very complex here. I'm going to try and simplify this as much as possible. Let's get rid of some of these other components that are referenced here so we can get down to just a component that we're referencing and see if we can get just this page working. Never stopped Microsoft. Oh, Ritalin Commando.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
No, they aren't. It's quite all right. Come on, build. Build. Let's see. All right, so that's loaded. Microsoft Edge closed unexpectedly. Yeah, I know. I clicked the button to close you. You fool! Oh my gosh! It's not perfect. We got something. Now let's slowly unwind here because we're gonna get everything wired back in here. I know, Ancient Coder, the magical mystery of the rainbow-bearded Clippy. The rainbow-bearded Clippy. I think we're onto something. Okay, so, and this is the problem, a little bit of the problem that Simon had, unable to run because some things were kind of mid-state here, a little changing, a little weird. Lemons PT. Welcome, Lemons. How's it going? Great to see you. Thanks for joining us in the chat room, Lemons. Hey, Fixture Jake, good evening. Great to see you as well. Let's start slowly introducing these other ones. And see, actually, even before we start doing that, let's get rid of some of these other calls in here, like this one to expand schedule state and schedule state. Line 48. Where's that? Where is schedule state? And it's here on line 48. There. Oh, are you kidding? Who's the schmuck that wrote that? Okay, so where's this being called? It's being called in the constructor when it's not, and it's no, and it's also being called in the test. Okay, so this one I can just remove that. And maybe we got another step through here. Maybe we got another piece built. Welcome, Lemons. Thanks so much. And a Bloot, a Toot. How you doing, Bloot, a Toot? You have a good Smab. Have a good one. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and 1400 UTC for some of our friends that are out there in Europe and are joining us on a very late evening over there. So no errors here. Good. Availability. Yes. Okay. No errors. It loaded properly. And I can go back to home and that works. Hey, look at that, friends. It took us an hour. No. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Magoo. You can do the and then command. All right, so let's start putting the other controls back into this user interface. So if you're interested, see that. Thank you, Janeski. There's the live share if you want to join in. Join into this. So I was on the availability page. Let's add the day picker back in now. So I'll just move that down. So the day picker, right? So this is the month view that's over on the side. Now, you know what? Let's not do that one yet. Let's do the recurrence pattern here. Right, so recurrence data entry. And let's see what that one's looking for. That command belongs to Janeski. All right. Well, you can do composition with these. You can do composition. There is inheritance for some of these, and you can do composition. You can. It's very, very flexible. All right, so that's. All right, so I'm already seeing we're going to have an error here when we get through this chalupa. Yep. All right. Cannot provide a value for property schedule on recurrence data entry because the property has no setter. Because recurrence data entry is a two-way. One of these I introduced a structure for helping out with the binding. Okay. Ninrak, thank you for the host. Appreciate you setting us up like that. So schedule needs a property setter on the recurrence data entry. Okay, so you're telling me that new recurring schedule doesn't have a setter, which is on this new recurring, yeah. Because it's outside of this, we need to make that yeah, we can't make these private anymore because they're outside of it. So, Sean asks, does Blazor load in the background everything at startup? Is that why we get a disconnect on the index? It might be. Might be. I don't know. I hope it isn't. It wasn't when we did the Blazor Blazing Pizza demo, right? That looks good. All right, now we've got a clobbering coming through here. Now, Page's recurrence data entry has no setter. All right, so let's take a look back at that. So recurrence data entry has schedule, and you have it routing through. Yeah, that doesn't have a setter. So let's return model dot schedule. Set is going to be model dot schedule equals value. That makes sense. Return model one save. Set model dot no equals value. That should work now. HR Book, thank you for the host. Appreciate you setting us up like that, and thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated that. Always great to welcome some new folks and helping us get to our follower goal here. Oh no, we're missing a closing. Yeah, chop that. There we go. Let's see how this works. How's it going, Ninrack and HR Book? What are you working on over there on your streams? If should be component-based subclass seems more complex. No, it's not more complex. No. I think we're in fine shape here. There we go. That looks good. Availability, and now we're talking. All right. Let me go get a toothbrush to hang out of my mouth like Matthew McConaughey. Today you're working on C# and Stripe. Oh, that's very cool, HR Book. I haven't worked enough with Stripe. Stripe, I know, is that payment processing library and service you can embed in your applications, so that you want to charge, you want to set up a store, you want to be able to charge, you want to be able to collect donations. You can wire up with Stripe. Really great stuff there. More power to you over there, HR Book. That was a good impression. Oh, thank you. If any of our Texas friends, and I'm looking at you, Svava, are gonna criticize my Matthew McConaughey impression. All right, so we got the recurrent. So we need to fix now the day view. So let's see here. So day view was, well, that's that one. Let's fix the day picker first. The day picker is the calendar, right? I call it day picker, even though it's a calendar view, but it's because you're picking a day with it. Better to pick a day instead of your nose, right? Let's see. Those param attributes are annoying that they have to have so much plumbing code in the markup. Nah, Simon, they're okay. HR Book says I don't like PayPal more after I see Stripe. Really? Oh my gosh. HR Book, can you help me out? Why do you like Stripe better than PayPal? Is there something? Is it you like them better as a developer? It's easier to work with? Let me know. You feel like they added attribute splatting for that? Maybe. I don't like splatting. I don't like that term at all. I feel like that's it's not descriptive of what's actually going on there. All right. Selected date is, this one might be okay. Let's see what happens when we run it here. Stripe is more easy to work with. Okay. You know what, HR Book? I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the tip. I've definitely had my struggles when I've had to integrate with PayPal in the past. So to hear that it's easier to work with Stripe, definitely that's a check in my book that there's something that I want to go look at. All right, so looks like we have a Hello. Welcome back. Good to see you. Oh my, that looks good. All right. Not sure what this is airing out about. There's some connection stuff in there. I like the today button here. All right. It's still not loading the data, right? We're not loading the data properly yet. And this formatting is still kind of cheesy. But I think we're ready to start looking at the bottom one here, right? Because that's working. The PayPal new SDK is pretty cool. Okay. Fixter Jake says the application he's working on at work uses Strike. I'm assuming Jake is a he. the application that they're working on at work. I haven't personally used it. Oh my, indeed. But aware of it existed. Okay. So let me see if I can get the day view appearing. Maybe we'll be lucky and it'll just appear down there. So back to the availability component, and hopefully this will just work. HR Book says Stripe is much easier to work with. For example, just like you have to make a subscription. If you're going to make it on PayPal, you must do an incredible amount. Oh, but PayPal, I just remember that PayPal needed a lot of things just to subscribe. Yes, okay. You need a lot of information in order to set up your PayPal account. Stripe, it's a little bit easier, huh? Okay. All right. So F12, let's see what we get here. Ooh, we're going to have an issue here, aren't we? Yeah, kaboom. All right, what did we break here on? My schedule state in the day view. Same thing, no setter. All right. We know how to fix that now. We know what the deal is with that one. So let me go back to day view. I need to get Dayman from It's Always Sunny, so that whenever I'm talking about day view, I can refer to it. Yeah, these ones right here. These does not like that. We need to turn that into a get set on those. All right. No, that's not right. Like that. Set model. No. My schedule state. And this might not even be the right code to put here. I'm just putting something here so it works. And we may end up having to change this up a little bit. Get. Return that. Set. Model. No. Day view. Start equals value. Right? I worry about this. Okay, that worked. All right. Do another one here. Get. Return that. Day view end equals value. Right? Okay. So what do you think, chat room? Am I doing the right thing here? Do you think we're going to have an issue? Do you think I'm going to end up doing more debugging and fighting with this? I'm glad we stuck with this instead of trying to start that new project, because I would have just gone round and round for another half hour trying to figure out, no, the components need a little bit of TLC here. That's a tender loving component, TLC. All right, so that looks like it should work. Let's see what happens here. The new .NET SDK for PayPal is based on a REST API. Nice. Zamel Llama. Welcome, Zamel Llama. Thanks so much for joining us. I think I was talking to Zamel Llama earlier today. Stripe is easy to read their documentation. You can always find errors, etc. But right now, you're stuck to SCA, which is legislation in the EU, in about 2 months. Oh, boy. So sorry to hear that. All right, let's see what we got here. So it looks like it's running. We might have a little bit of an issue. Availability. Nice. That worked. Not sure what this is complaining about, but that, I bet you it's the management report it's complaining about. But I can navigate around. I can't get any data yet. I don't have the data coming back. So that'll be the next piece to fix here, is make sure we're getting our data loaded. But that looks like it's working. I'm not getting any further errors clicking around. So, all right. All right. Now, gonna go get in my Lincoln Navigator. Let's see. Close that down. Is it a Lincoln Navigator or is it a Cadillac? My Cadillac DeVille. No. Oh my goodness. I'm feeling pretty good about how things are just kind of progressing and happening and working here. What you work on else? We've done some work on some other projects. We built a wiki. We built a component library for the Stream Deck. And we're also working on a distributed chatbot that we're going to come back to because we want to spend some time with Blazor and getting this application running for a nonprofit organization that can manage a nonprofit, right? A charity that can manage the schedules for their employees. So, yeah, Zamalama, I bet you it would be interested in something like Uno, where they're using XAML in the browser to generate stuff. That unchecked runtime last error doesn't sound like a Blazor error. Could be an extension misbehaving. Could be. Could also be the manager schedule view model is not behaving properly. Right there. It's the same tricky thing that we got to fix here. So model.selected date, not data, date. Is it data or data? Data's the guy from, right, the android from Star Trek. Data is something that they messed with in Tron. Right? Let's see if I just figured out and fixed this all in one shot there. Avalonia is greater than Uno, says Feral Tony Movies. Shots fired, Feral Tony. Clinton Rocksmith likes Uno. I've heard good things about Uno. I know some friends that work over there at Uno, and they're trying to make things happen. I did an F12 there. Got some errors. Let me try that well, that worked. Didn't work well, but it worked. Look at that. This is something that our friend Nick Craver pointed out. We need to escape these here. These should be right. Well, no. It's fetching data and it's getting HTML coming back instead of data. All right. Let's look at the view model for this one over here. API schedule for range. That. Now, why'd it get 2019? And then Fritz is going to have to take another look here. Let's restart that without it actually getting the data and see what happens. Know what I mean, Vern? No, it's data. No, is it data or data? Like Star Trek, if European. European is go get your data, bring it back here. Gonna load it up into the application, go to that website. No, I don't do accents well. I'm terrible like that. When you watch me reading The Invisible Man, I'm slowly dropping into a British accent, and I don't know British accents, so it's actually more like an Australian accent or an Irish accent. It's just awful. It's terrible. I need to spend some time learning accents. You know what I'm saying here? I didn't get any red there. Look at that! Darth Vader. Dater and Darth Vader. Date in Denmark, it is. It's that you're meeting ladies. Oh, okay. Or whatever gender your preference might be. So this is. Oops. Okay, so my navigation doodad here is not working quite right still. But I can click around and I've got all the pages working now without any errors. It's not loading data yet. Not loading the data yet from the database. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Do we do the authentication bit next? I think we do. Let's do the authentication bit now. Right now. Now. Close that. Cancel this. Close that. Do the thing. Here we go. And close this. Close that. Close all the things. Close all the things. Okay. We're going to force authentication when you request against that schedule controller. And I'm going to force authentication by putting a doodad here that says not authenticate, authorize. Control dot. Yep. So this is saying you must be authorized. You must be a logged in user in order to do these things. Gotta go, Glenn. Oh, Glenn Stevens is online. Oh, don't worry, Clinton Rocksmith. We'll hang out here and wait. It's okay. Go ahead. No, I'm not going to do that. Have a good one, Clinton Rocksmith. I'm going to drop in a little cheer graffiti for you here in just a moment. Thank you very much for stopping by and that very kind cheer. Accents are easy. Look. Oh, brave Cobra. Oh.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
None. You don't. You don't have any idea. You'd recommend that I look at Stripe when I need a payment solution. Okay. Thanks for the tip, HR Book. I appreciate it. I will definitely put them at the top of my list when we start working with payment solutions. Thank you very much for the kind tip there. I've already got Authorize wired up in here for some things. So I need to add a login button, and I need to add a user controller so I can get user information back from the server. Actually, let me do this. I'm not going to put the Authorize in there just yet because I want to commit these changes. Right there. Yeah. Right, we added a whole bunch of stuff. We broke a whole bunch of things. It was fun. No, I didn't want to do that. I don't think that's going to work.
I expect you to die.
It didn't. How do I uncheck out everything? Ooh, that worked. Issue. Add authorize as a global filter for all API routes. That's not bad. That's not bad. Well, no, we don't. All API routes except for the user one that we're going to put in here in just a second. So let me remove. Let me just. This is going to be easier just to do this, right? Goodbye. Okay. Look at that again. All right. Yeah. Fixed component references, so they now render. Just start there. Nope. There we go. All right, push that out so we now have that. It's saved off, it's available, it's local, it's good. Let me go over to my little spike that I was working on. Not that one. Not that one. No, no. That one. Let's merge in the feature branch. What's broken? Startup CS in web client. Aha! I know how to fix that. That's not the right one. It's not the right one. Web client. Let's see. I'm gonna just take both. I don't need that. That's there twice. Right? We don't want two using statements with the same deal. How dare you? No. No. I think we're okay. Oh, wait a sec. No. No. I need these things. There, right? Because those are the view models and things that we just introduced. And I don't need the rest of this. Close the namespace. I think we're good. Does this still build? Please tell me it builds. Junie Von Esch.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
No.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
You did. I'm not wearing a hat, but look at the color. Huh? Look at that. The name Twitter defaults does not exist in the current. That's right, it doesn't. Because I'm not done with that part yet. How's it going there? So snazzy, you like it? You know, I'm recruiting people to appreciate my hair. When I recruit people, I'm specifically looking for...
I want rustlers, cutthroats, murderers, bounty hunters, desperados, mugs, pugs, thugs, nitwits, halfwits, dimwits, vipers, snipers, con men, agents, bandits, muggers, buggerers, bushwhackers, hornswagglers, horse thieves, train robbers, bank robbers, stickers, and Methodists.
Okay, maybe not the last three. But I'm definitely looking for some friends. We're going to need to fix this await part here. To do challenge appropriately for our authentication scheme. I'm waiting for Junie to start trolling me here. It's about to happen. I know it is. Let's see here. So I modified that. So let's add the two new things. Fixed so that we compile after the merge from the component thing that time that I merged during the show that ran really late and put our British friends to sleep. Not our Finnish friends, because they hang out all night. With us. That's a good commit message. All right. See that? How can I troll over the things I do not know? Enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks so much, Ancient Coder. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back again 10 a.m. tomorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, 1400 UTC, and really late at night in Australia. There might be one I forgot to beep out there. Nope. Oh, I analyzed that several times, Simon. Oh, yes, I did. So, yeah, of course, these are all going to go away when I rebase. Okay, so this should now build. And I can start wiring up so that I connect and do the thing. I can challenge and actually get you to log in. And then we'll know who you are, and we'll be able to have that information available. It's okay, you can always stay up late, just drink more G Fuel. Build succeeded, fantastic. This piece I'm going to need to fix to get the sign-in to work. Oh, that British person's still here. Fantastic. Oh my gosh. I always appreciate the international audience, the great group of folks that tune in and watch here. Let's see what happens here. I'm seeing some things on Twitter. Oh, DD with the comment on my hair. Look at this. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. I want to wire up now. I need to wire up the sign-in and our user information coming back. So I grabbed the same concept of user information to pass back to the client side. that has is authenticated name. I also should put on here the schedule ID, right? So that I can get your schedule and appropriately wired up so we know exactly what to pass back and forth for you, right? So that means I need a user controller, and I need to put authorize here on the schedule controller so that you need to be authorized to interact with schedules. I need a user controller now. Yeah. Let's see. Can I just... No, I can't do it from in there. I need to go over here. Oh, I started user controller. Well, that'll get the user information, right? And I need to... Name is authenticated. We need to get it from the user. Did I put it in a claim there or something? I don't think I have... Where did I put the schedule ID before? Right? When it was... Where did I put it? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off... I need to put in that cheer, that very kind cheer, for 1,500 from Clinton Rocksmith. Today is the 30th of July. Thank you so much, Clinton. And we're going to need to put the schedule ID over here. We need to figure out what that is and drop it in there. Let's just... I'm going to hard code it for right now, just so I've got something there, you know? Fetch the schedule ID appropriately so that it's there and it's available for us. Schedule ID works as a good custom claim. You know what, Simon? You're right. It does. Right? Which would come out of our... Right, our user objects. So I've already got a person ID coming back that I can work with. So when login happens, I need to identify these other claims. Well, I want to actually create them based on your person object and fill them in. See you tomorrow. Take care, HR Book. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Welcome to the channel. Was the schedule ID in the schedule state? Sean, yeah, it was. You're right. But I think Simon's making a good point here. If we move the schedule ID, your schedule ID as the logged in user, into your user object at login time, right? Let's get all the information about you, put that into the person object, into the user info object that comes back. So I have your personal information in one place, your schedule state information somewhere else. Because I want to deallocate that. I don't want to use that when I'm not there. Yeah, I think I agree, Sean. It does make sense to bring it over here. Let me fix that formatting. That makes me feel better. I was getting kind of triggered there by the tabbing. Okay. Let's see. So, thinking out loud. When you log in, which is up here, identity, right? Identity data context. Where's the actual login happen? No, I do need the Razor pages in order to get into these things. Ah, crumbs. Crumbs. I remember I tried to remove Razor pages down here. I'm going to remove that because those pages don't exist anymore. I don't need you. Yeah, okay. Okay. Claims principal, HTTP context user. That adds the scoped claims principal. I don't need that anymore because we're not doing that thing. And I don't need the HTTP context accessor either. that little workaround doesn't exist anymore. Because I'm client-side now. SignalR and server... I can get rid of server-side Blazor. SignalR. Tell me I don't need that. Don't need it, but I'm going to just comment it out for now. Okay. Yeah, I removed Razor pages here. I need that so that I can get to the identity stuff, because those are all Razor pages up here. So when you log in, here we go. Email, password, remember me, on get, add model error, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Logger, login, redirect. Right, we need to add the claims somewhere. Well, the my user object, right? There, it has the person ID. Is it putting person ID in as a claim, or is it just a thing that's available? How's it getting the person ID? Oh, we're putting it on it. So when someone logs in, yes, Junie had to go get dinner. Well, Junie.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Yes, it was. They really were the questions you were called here to answer. Jack! I tell you. Yeah, let's go over this one. All right. So how am I going to bring... So when someone logs in... Let's think this through. It was back here. Fix that tabbing, please. Thank you. So doing all the auth UI yourself, not using an identity provider. Not right now. No. I was thinking about doing an Auth0 provider. Auth0 lets the first, I think it's like 5,000 users log in. So in this system, where I'm only going to have 50, no big deal. But for right now, like I said, minimum viable. The code's already there, just make it happen. Just turn it on, you know? So password sign in, if results succeeded, logger log information. Well, the result, see, where does the user... Right, when does my user get created over here? When does this thing happen? It's got 77 references. Oh, dear God. I have no idea. I don't know. That worries me. So you go through the sign-in manager for my user. I guess it gives you a my user object for the duration of the session, but that my user is being... right? Created here, and somehow it's made available for you through the rest of this. So now what? When we register, right, we wrote some custom code in here to put that person ID on the user object there, right? We wrote this code to customize and put the person ID on there. Maybe in addition to returning the person ID out of this, maybe we should also return the schedule ID and put that on a claim inside there so that we can use it. If this is going to be on the internet, not on a private intranet, then MVP should probably include an OWASP security review. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that at all. It makes sense. So if I return the schedule ID and I put that in as a claim, so person's IDs, and if we update my user here, yeah. Schedule ID. Okay. Okay. Schedule ID equals person's IDs. Schedule ID. Okay. So that's too big now. I can't do that all in one line. That's more readable. All right, create user async, and that should allocate those claims. Here we go. Now it's adding the claim here for the person ID. So now we'll also add schedule ID. There it is. So now we've got the schedule ID being created as a claim, right? And a claim is that security significant piece of information, right? Something that's significant in order for the authentication and use of the user. And their schedule ID is going to determine what schedule information they themselves can manage. So we'll need to do that. An OWASP security review. And thinking that through, Simon, I think you may have just given me the door I need to invite Barry Dorrance to join us on stream. I know. He might be out there listening. Might be. Okay. Yes, I agree, Simon. I think it would be a tremendous stream. Tremendous. In fact, I'm going to tweet that right now. That's wrong window. Let's open a new window here. Bear with me, friends. I hate the new Twitter. Hate it. Because they move things around unnecessarily, and now it looks like Facebook. What's happening? So we're going to write... before I launch this web application, we've been building on stream for the internet to be able to access. We should have a proper security review. Interested in paying a visit and showing us what a real security review is. There we go, friends. There's the tweet. Oh, yes. It would also be interesting to see how it works to hook up the Java-based OWASP security verification tooling to a .NET-based project. Yeah. I can see that also. Absolutely. So that should add that extra claim. This means that I need to regenerate for my existing users. And you might do that with some sort of a migration or something like that to get this going. It's almost 8:30 here my time.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
No, I don't. So here's what I want to do. I like that I have that built. So now I can return that information from my user controller over here, right? That schedule ID, I'll be able to, it'll it'll be in my user, right? User identity, and have to go into the claim, and I can fetch that appropriately, right? Right, I should be able to say user dot claims. Didn't I write an extension method to do this? To go through get person ID. There we go. On the user object here. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to be getting the schedule ID. Can I make this a little bit more generic? Can I generify that? Get claim value. Get claim value as int. How about that? String claim name. Claim name. So I can actually then do return claims principal dot get claim value as int, and the claim name is going to be, what was it? Oh, rats. Hang on. I'm trying to cheat here. No. Go back. This was claim name, right? And I'm going to return that value. Look at that. Mousing for the win. There we go. So now I can do this same thing. Data my user claims back over here equals user dot. Yes. Nope. Data my user claims schedule ID. Dot value? Okay, good. Or it's logged out user. Oh. Extra semicolon. That should work now to get back all the user information, but I still need to do the challenge bit here. And I think that's... Ooh, why not of T? Good question. It's an int. You can't have generic be in a value type. So that will not work. But this should compile. My unit tests should all be working. Right, compile. Do. I don't like seeing a red X there. Don't like seeing a red X. Ah, it's the schedule state bit. That I do expect. Okay. I do have a couple other folks that are interested in OWASP that we can have join us. A couple other MVPs and friends that can help out with that. Good. All right, and that test is running. We should see a bunch of green here except for this last one. So we should see 16 over here and one error. Come on now. It should be running the tests. Run the tests. Come on. And then we're going to wrap things up here. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. I'm feeling really good about that update now for these bits, for the stuff that we've updated here. We are really close to being done this security merge. The last thing that I want to do is this challenge, and we're going to do that tomorrow. So I'm going to check in what I've got here at this point. Git commit AM. Checking everything that I changed. Here's the message. Added schedule ID as a custom claim. Sign in for that. Boom. Push those changes. This isn't a spike branch. This is just Scratch. I'm going to fix all this stuff, merge it up into the feature branch after I rebase it down so it's one commit, and push it in there so you don't see all the junk that I've been working on. All right. And I pushed it up. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern to work on this, and we're going to finish this. We're going to put the login button back into the application, and we'll start to see our application load up with information that we've saved to the database. We're going to get that all connected, and we're going to set up a management role so that you need to be a manager in order to properly be able to interact with the schedule information in the database. Yeah, you're going to get to watch it at work, Fixter Jig. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been a little bit of a late evening. We went a little bit longer than I'm used to, but I think it's okay. And thanks for letting me show off my new hairdo. No Hat Tuesday. No, there is no Hat Tuesday. Junie. We're not going to do that. No. Oh my gosh. You know who's still going? Is he still going over there? Let me tune in over here. Let's see what's happening over here. Oh, you know who we could raid? I just started it? No, I didn't. That's not a thing. Not a thing. I can't tell over there. Well, let's look at this one. You know what? I'm going to raid somebody from the creative community. Let's do this. We're going to set up and raid my friend who's getting ready to go on a trip here. His name is Cinnabar. Let's set up for the raid. There's our raid call. Copy out the first line of text if you're a subscriber. If you're not, that's okay. Copy that second line of text. Put it on your clipboard. Get ready. We're going to visit Cinnabar. Cinnabar is an artist who does makes things with chainmail, just like our friend Fairy Wings. Cinnabar is making... Oh, thank you, Delta28, for the follow. I appreciate that. Cinnabar is making a collection of pendants that he's going to be handing out. He's going to be making available at an event that he's going to next weekend. Check it out. It's in the Pittsburgh area. I forget the name of it. We can ask him when we get over there. But get ready, friends, to head over and visit our friend Cinnabar. There's the raid call. This channel is intended for mature audiences. You have been warned. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. And this video, like all my other videos, will be over on the YouTube, be available over on the YouTube channel. In a week or so, we'll have it over there. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Too many buttons, too many buttons. Oh my goodness. There it is.